In 12 and 13, we're doing some proofs, and we're trying to prove that the left and the right side of the equation are equal. So here on the left side, when we look at the numerator, this is a difference of squares, so we're going to try to rewrite this by factoring. So difference of squares, so this would become cosine squared plus sine squared times cosine squared minus sine squared over cosine squared. Well, we have an identity that tells us that sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So I'm going to substitute a 1, and then I have cosine squared minus sine squared both of these terms are being divided by cosine squared. So I'm going to separate this into two fractions, cosine squared divided by cosine squared minus sine squared divided by cosine squared. Cosine squared divided by cosine squared is just equal to 1. Sine divided by cosine is tangent, so that would be 1 minus tangent squared, which is what we want to end up with. On this last one here, I'm going to substitute what each of these identities is equivalent to. So 1 plus 1 over cosine. Tangent is sine over cosine. And if I want to combine these fractions, I need common denominators. So if this has a denominator of cosine, I want this to also have a denominator of cosine. So that would become cosine over cosine plus 1 over cosine. Here also I want a common denominator, so it would be sine over cosine plus, and then if this becomes cosine, this would be sine, and then another cosine up here. Now I can combine the fractions because they have common denominators. So here this is 1 plus cosine theta over cosine theta. Here I have sine theta plus sine theta cosine theta over cosine theta. And if I'm dividing these fractions, that is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I have 1 plus cosine theta divided by cosine theta times, I'm going to do the reciprocal of this fraction here. So that will be times cosine over sine theta plus sine theta cosine theta. The cosines cross out. So in the numerator I have a 1 plus cosine of theta. The denominator here can be factored. I have a common factor of sine, and then we're left with 1 plus cosine of theta. Those cross out, and we're left with 1 over sine theta, which is equal to cosecant of theta.